Hello then viewers, welcome back to some more Dortmund as we're going to go through the tactics induction today. I was given the opportunity by Football Managers to go through and play on the alpha version of the game. Of course, this is subject to change and the beta will be out hopefully later this week. So on to the tactics induction then, and tactics of course express how you'd like your team to play, and as it says in the green there, the key aspects of any tactics are outlined below, and there are numerous ways you can customise your tactics to your exact requirements. And in Football Manager 2019, you can do that better than ever before, and that's what's so exciting about this year's game. So number one then, tactical style, work on your mentality and your team instructions, and we'll go through those in just a moment, as well as the formation and the player roles. And of course, being Dortmund, they've got a reputation for the gegenpress, so we'll see how that works. And there's a selection of tactics to go through this year. There's loads of presets for you. We'll go through them now. So the first step of the induction then is choosing your tactical style. You can see along this there, control possession, gegenpress, tiki-taka, vertical tiki-taka, wing play, route one, fluid counter-attack, direct counter-attacks, counter-attack, or Cantonek SEO. That's maybe. Experts will correct me, I'm sure. Part of the bus. And you can create your own style. So if you don't want to conform to any of these, you just want to do what you've been doing for years, and you want to create your own style, then you can do. Don't worry. You're not forced. I was a little bit worried about that when I first saw this. I thought, are we forced into a tactical style here? But no, you can still create your own if you wish to. And as I'm sure you've seen on screen, there's little previews of how your tactic will operate when you've got the ball and slightly without the ball as well. It's very nice to see, just very minor improvements, moving things on screens that for so long have been stills. It's just something about that is quite exciting to me, who's played the game for a very long time. It's like when 3D was first introduced, or 2D was first introduced. It was like, wow, a game that was stationary for so long, it now moves. And the fact you can see your tactic work, or how it's supposed to work, of course, a lot of it comes down to player roles and things like that. It's just a lovely feature. So Dortmund, somewhat synonymous these days with the gegenpress, one of the first teams to introduce it to their style of play, and it's of course what we're going to select then for our team. So that then brings us to our preferred formation, and they give you some options that best suit the gegenpress. It's nice. So if you are sort of new to this and you want to try styles maybe you've never used before, they give you 3 options that you can use, and there's quite a few here. Now, based on some of the players we've got at Dortmund, there's only really 2 options. I don't really want to use the diamond, as I say, we've got some really good wing talent at Borussia Dortmund. So we've got the wide system in the 4-2-3-1, or a slightly more defensive 4-3-3. I'm actually going to go with this. I think this probably suits us slightly more with the pressing forward. I'm going to look to try and sign someone. So we'll go forward to this one then. And you can see at the top then, your creative tactic will become the primary trained tactic. Number 1, you can see the number 1 there. This will be your club's tactical identity and will aid your assistant in setting up weekly training schedules. We'll talk about training in one of the future episodes. You may also create 2 alternate tactics that will be trained for familiarity. That's something you could do in previous years as well. So over on this side, it gives you the recommended instructions to use when using the gegenpress. So in possession, you're passing into space, playing out of defence at an extremely high tempo, and a fairly narrow system to allow you to press slightly more effectively. In transition, you're taking short kicks, distributing to the centre-backs, counter and counter-pressing. Of course, that's a major part of the gegenpress. And of course, out of possession, much higher defensive line, a much higher line of engagement. These are things you probably expect. Using the offside trap, tight marking, getting stuck in. All things that, again, are synonymous with the gegenpress. So, of course, you can change some of these instructions if you wish to. Although it gives you the recommended instructions, there's still room for you to manoeuvre within these. So you've got your attacking width, your approach play, and your final third distribution, how you want to try and work the ball into the box, or maybe hit crosses early, run at the defence, things like this. Yeah, that's all there for you in a very neat, in-possession-based tactical instruction setting. In transition is something that we've not really seen too much. This is very new to the tactics, and I think people will really get behind this sort of thing. So when the possession has been lost, do you want to regroup and sit back, or of course we're getting pressure, you're going to counter press straight away? And when possession has been won, you're trying to counter, you're trying to get forward, you're trying to get bodies further forward than they can get bodies back, and that's again a very pivotal part of this style of play. And of course, how would you like your goalkeeper to distribute? If you're trying to keep the ball, best thing to do, give it to your defenders. And then finally, your defensive shape. Of course, with this tactic, we're using the offside trap, tighter marking, preventing short goal kicks, and getting stuck in. So loads happening when out of possession, more so than many other tactics. And these lines are also malleable. You can move these forward and backward. I always said left and right there. You can't move them left and right. It wouldn't make sense. Okay, so at this point, your tactic is pretty much ready to go. And you can see I've already had a little quick picking, and they've put the players that they think would be suitable in the positions. And this is where the tutorial aspect of this video disappears and Ben goes to normal Ben again. So when we're talking about this Dortmund team then, what am I thinking? Well, Berkey in goal we've already sort of been through. I think he's the best option, and defensively I think we're pretty solid across that back line. Akanji, Piszczek, Diallo and Guerrero are pretty solid as a back four. Of course, we've got some really nice replacements replacements as well, if called upon. Top racks there, Schmelzer, to name just a couple. The midfield three is interesting. Delaney, obviously newly brought in, very decent player. We'll see how he gets on with Weigl or Weigl. Witzel, of course, in that deep line playmaker spot. And then loads of wing options. Royce, Pulisic, to say Sancho's there as well. Kagawa, if he remains at the club. Phillips here too. We've got loads of options in that area. Then Alcacer is the player that's up front at the moment, but when it comes to scouting, which again will be a future episode, you'll see that I've got another player in mind for this role, Timo Werner. Also, when it comes to team fluidity, there has been a change within that. I'll show you that right now, actually. So this is the main content screen. This is what it looks like now. You can still hide it, so you've got more of a squad view if you wish to have that, but it's best to have both. Obviously, well, I mean, if you're looking at it, basically, they've moved it from the right to the left. So something that might interest you in terms of the mentality, it starts off as a positive mentality under the Gegenpress, but you'll notice few changes: Contain, gone; Overload, gone; and a few of the others have been like very subtly renamed to other things. As now Positive is almost a new one entirely that's been stuck in there. There's no Control anymore. Again, it's all sort of based upon your tactic now and your mentality. These make more sense to me. Very defensive, cautious, balance, positive, attacking, and very attacking. I think people are more likely to use very attacking than they ever would have done Overload. It sounded a little bit gung-ho, didn't it? Whereas now it seems a little more considered. And again, though, it all applies to the players that you've got in your team. And speaking of the players you've got in our team, of course, we've gone through the tactic there. A lot of it is based upon whether we think that the player roles suit the players we've got. For example, Pulisic, actually, it says there inside forward. I won't play him as that. I'll play him as a winger out on that side, have Royce cutting in from one side, and have a sort of three-pronged attack in that sense. So you've got to try and work it to the players you've got. I always think, people always ask me, what's more important, the tactic or the player roles? And I personally, I'm a fan of the player roles. I think if they suit the role they're given, they'll often perform much better because they're just happier in that skin. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So with some pre-season friendlies, which I'll probably review at some point during the save, I think this is probably something similar to what we're going to go with. Again, we're probably going to look for a new striker in Timo Werner. He's the man I've earmarked as the pressing forward required for this Dortmund team to progress further and further. I just want to clarify now as well a couple of things. One, you can't see my face. That'll be happening later this week. Don't be too concerned about it. And also, this is very much an introductory series. I just want to clarify that once again. This isn't the regular sort of stuff you've seen from me. This is an introduction to the game, as much as it is for you, for me as well. There's lots of changes, and I want to talk you through them to help me understand them better as well as you. So I'm sure you're very eager to get your hands on the game at this point too. Of course, match plans are still a key part of the tactics this season. Of course, you want to make sure you've got your captains set up, as well as all of your set pieces. You've got your set piece takers there, corners, free kicks, and throw-ins. There's loads of depth in there. I'm sure people get involved, create their own, put them on the workshop, get some from the workshop. It's the sort of thing people will have a lot of fun with. And of course, with each player, you can go through and give them some individual tactics as well, and instructions. Sorry, not tactics, individual tactics. I mean, if they have a different tactic to the entire team, that will be a problem, viewers. But as I say, though, overall, very malleable this year. You can do a lot more with it. I just want to show you as well this out of possession defensive line stuff. You can move it a lot more than you ever could before. Obviously, be careful because you don't. For example, if I did this, it would leave a lot of space in the middle, which for counter-attacking maybe wouldn't be too bad. But you are also giving your opposition a lot of space to do things. Hence, Dortmund tend to go closer together. Of course, you want to keep these lines in sync with one another. That's what I'm getting at. And you'll see in transition ones, if you were to put a click hold shape, it would remove the arrows and focus in on where they would be. Of course, counter-attacking, pushing forward a lot more. The same goes on the other side as well. Of course, you can have neither. You don't have to select one or the other. Okay, then that is a short introduction then to the tactical guide when it comes to Football Manager 2019. We're using Borussia Dortmund. Give me your thoughts. Do you think we should try something different with Dortmund? Would you like to see the Gegenpress in full effect? And maybe we'll focus in on how it actually operates and if it operates as it should do within the game. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. With love, with care. If you're not mentioned, until next time, goodbye. And there we are then, that wraps up today's Dortmund episode. Of course, if you missed episode 1, go back and watch that by clicking the screen, or check out the top 10 best new screenshots in Football Manager 2019. Best new screens, not screenshots, Ben, come sort yourself out. And of course, look forward to episode 3 coming soon.